All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the next New Earth Teachings webcast. Thank you everybody for being here today. So before we go ahead and get started, we have some announcements, and then we're going to be getting into healing requests and open Q&A. So we'll start off with the first announcement. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com. All right, so that is the new Healing Code Shop commercial that I was able to create. And a special announcement is that we are giving away 2 t-shirts, and the winners are going to be announced on August 28th. So to sign up for the drawing, all you have to do is go to our Facebook page. Okay, so the Facebook page is below. It's facebook.com/healingcodeshop. And all you have to do is just like the post that is pinned on the Facebook page that talks about this drawing. And again, 2 t-shirts will be given away. So 2 people will be selected by random number generator. Those 2 people will be contacted by Facebook, and I will send them a little form where they can fill out the type of t-shirt that they want, the size of it, the color of it, the type of theme attached to it, and all of that. So again, feel free to tune in next week. Next week will be the drawing for 2 t-shirt giveaways. Other news as well too is that I'm going to start bringing in children's clothing for Healing Code Shop as well too. So the children's clothing is going to come around September 1st. So again, feel free to check out the website. It's healingcodeshop.com. Okay, just as you saw in the commercial, healingcodeshop.com, and you can go ahead and check that out. So that'll be coming before September 1st. So I'm looking forward to rolling out clothing for the kids. And of course, second announcement is the Healing Code cards body deck is now available, so you can grab them on amazon.ca, amazon.com, and the digital edition is available in English and Spanish on the website healingcodecards.com. And for international customers, you can order your Healing Code cards on healingcodecards.com. And finally, Adronis inside the galactic community. This is going to be happening on Sunday, August 30th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Open Q&A with Adronis on Zoom. And to register, you just go to newearthteachings.com. Registration is $4.99. Okay, and so that is going towards the mind deck as we start printing out the cards here very, very soon. Probably around the end of September or early October. So Adronis inside the galactic community, he's going to be sharing information about the galactic community that has never been shared before. So it's going to be a very, very deep interaction, and you'll be able to ask questions to Adronis as well too. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that, and that is happening on August 30th. All right, I'll just take a moment to get some water in me. Okay, so again, thank you everybody for being here today. So we are going to start off with healing requests, but of course the very first thing that we do, as always, is we go into a guided meditation, and then after healing requests, then we'll be getting into some Q&A. So if you guys do have some questions and answers, save that for the second segment, and we'll be getting into that. But again, we can just look into some healing requests here from people. Okay, the first thing is our guided meditation. So let's get ourselves nice and comfortable, making sure our body is free of any points of strain, free of any tension. Okay, you just place your hand upon the center of your chest. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. Inhale. Exhale. And once again, inhale. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. Exhale. And just relaxing yourself now and breathing normally. And now that we are oxygenating ourselves and just relaxing with the breath, we're just going to be scanning our body now, the top of our head going all the way down to the bottom of our feet, and just being aware of any tension, any strain, any stress, any aches, any pains, any soreness, any stiffness, any discomfort whatsoever, okay? And if you're scanning yourself and if you're feeling those areas that I've talked about, those energies I've talked about, you're basically seeing them as black liquid, okay? And you're just feeling those kind of little deposits of black liquid as you scan yourself from head to toe. After you have done that scan, we're just going to focus now on the base of our spine, and we're going to feel those black roots coming out through the legs and going all the way down the bottom of our feet opening up, the feet chakra opening up, and feeling those black roots going deeper and deeper into the ground. And feel free to go as deep as you wish with the roots. Okay. And now we're going to collect all of those deposits of black liquid representing tension, stress, strain, aches, pains, sores, stiffness, discomfort. Okay, we're going to just gather them into the area of the base of the spine. And we're just going to say, I forgive you and I release you. Okay. And now we're going to let that energy go deeply into the roots and going deeply into the earth and feeling that energy going into the earth and just telling the earth to take care of that energy for us, right? To clear it all out, to purge it, and to bring it into purification, okay? And as we do that, we're now going to take another deep breath in, deep breath out. And now we're going to receive energies from the earth. So now we're receiving her pure love, her pure compassion, okay? And feeling that as brown energy. And that is now moving up through the roots and going directly into the feet, up the ankles, up the knees, and all the way up into the base of the spine. And now we are going to calibrate our chakra centers. Okay, so we're going to start off with the root chakra. Okay, seeing the color red, like an apple red or even like a tomato red is fine as well too. Okay, and seeing that counterclockwise being swirled 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the navel chakra, okay, colored orange, like an orange peel. Counterclockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the solar plexus, colored yellow, like a lemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the heart, counterclockwise, green like grass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the throat, sky blue. Okay, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the third eye, ocean blue, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the crown chakra, violet color, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, deep breath in, right from the abdomen. Let's bring that energy up as we breathe in all the way, filling the lungs right up to the top of the head. Exhale, feeling the crown chakra opening up, feeling this cascading rainbow light flowing down your body like a fountain, going all the way down the bottom of the feet and moving up the perineum. And now feeling the toroidal field from within expanding, okay, touching the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. And now feeling that slow rotation counterclockwise of the toroidal field. And now feeling spirit light coming into the toroidal field. Okay? Magnetizing itself directly to the grids of the toroidal field. Okay, and now you can just work with spirit light replenishing you wherever you like, right? You just tell spirit light to come into your hands, and you can start rubbing areas that you feel are still kind of stiff or uncomfortable, right? And once you're rubbing it in, right, you feel that energy, and you just start brushing it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So again, work with spirit light. Spirit light is the most powerful energy there is. So the more that you're working with that, the more that is going to help improve you. Okay. So that is our meditation. Thank you everybody for participating along with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some healing requests. Okay. So again, the healing requests, remember, are just one single request, and we do it primarily with gathering black liquid into our hands, and then me bringing in spirit, and then clearing out that debris. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the live chat. Hello, everybody. Okay. All right, we have one here from Azita. Azita asks, "Hi, Brad. Can I please have healing for my left eye cornea that I damaged through an accident, in great pain and discomfort?" Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, of course. I can certainly help you with that. So Azita, right now, I just want you to place your hands upon the center of your chest. And if you want, you can place one hand over the eye as well, too. And I just want you to focus and concentrate on the eye there. All right. And with your hands, or hand, placed upon the center of your chest, you see that black liquid in your eye, and now you're going to feel roots coming out of both hands and putting it directly into the eye that is damaged, okay? And you're just wrapping those black roots all around the eye. You've done this before, so I'm pretty sure you know the process, okay? And so now we're going to give an apologetic energy for the eye, okay? So we want to apologize to the eye. We apologize for the injury. We apologize for neglecting and not being able to heal it right away, okay? And again, we're being very, very humble to our body, right? We're being repentful towards our body. So we're just asking for the body's forgiveness. We're asking for its assistance as well, too, to help us in clearing out the eye together and making the eye clean, pure, and perfect, okay? So those are 3 key words I want you to say to your eye, especially Azita, okay, is to make your eye clean, pure, and perfect, okay? As you say that, the body is openly forgiving, all right? And all those black roots that are connected to your eye, all that black liquid in the eye is now starting to move directly into your hands, okay? So you're feeling all of that black liquid energy from the eye moving directly into your hands. Okay, all we're doing is just focusing on the black liquid and putting that into the hands. Okay, we're not too concerned about all the scientific properties of the eyeball and all that. Okay, wherever there's black liquid, let it come into your hands. Okay, and I'll just give you a moment to do that now. Okay, so Zeta, now that you have done that, I will go ahead and call in spirit, and we'll clear out the black liquid in your hands. I command God's spirit light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained in Azita's hands from her eye, lifting all of that energy up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay, Azita, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, so Zeta, here's what I would like you to do next, is I want you to send blessings to your eye, okay? I want you to imagine like you are channeling your highest angelic self, okay? You could even see it as the higher self in that way, but it's like you're just seeing yourself as an angel. So this entire physical reality melts away, and you're just seeing yourself in this highness as like an angelic being, okay? And you are blessing your eye. You are complimenting about how amazing it is, at how wonderful it is, how clean it is, how pure it is, how perfect it is, okay? And you are telling to bring all that love, that cleanliness, that purity, that perfection into your eye, and you're feeling it, and you're feeling it, and you're going very, very deep, and you're feeling all of that energy coming in, and that's the replenishment energy, okay? Because spirit light is already cleared away the debris energy. Now your job, your task, will be to replenish it with your love energy, okay? So see yourself as this loving angelic being, as the higher self, okay? And just feeling that love energy coming in, coating the eye, and rejuvenating into pure love, okay? You can even talk to spirit and work with spirit as well, too, to bring in that rejuvenation effect. But the good news is we got all that debris out, all right? So keep doing that as often as possible, and that will certainly help your eye a great deal more, all right? Thank you, Azita. Okay, let's move on. So this one is from Christine Canal. Brad, may I please get some healing for my esophagus? It will be much appreciated. Certainly. Okay. So yes, we will work with the esophagus now. So Christine, Christine, I'll just get you to place your hands upon the center of your chest, feeling roots, black etheric roots, coming out to the hands, okay? And they're wrapping around the entirety of the esophagus, okay? So all around the throat, or around the area of the esophagus, going downwards. And you're just wrapping all of those black roots around the esophagus. Now, if you want, you can also put it like on the thymus, on the thyroid as well, too. You can also wrap it around the larynx, okay? So just around the entire pharynx, the entire esophagus area, and the glands associated with those regions, okay? That's just a little bit of extra advice for you as well, too, okay? So I want you just to look into the esophagus, right, and the surrounding areas and see any black liquid that is there, okay? And the roots are now just wrapped around those areas. So firstly, we want to apologize, okay? We want to apologize to the body. I apologize to my body for being neglectful, for not allowing myself to work with my feelings, working with spirit to clear all of this out. I apologize to my body. I ask for my body's forgiveness and for its assistance in helping to clear out all of the black liquid debris within my esophagus, okay? So you're just giving those intentions, and as you are very sincere about it, okay, you're saying in finality here, to help to work with my body to cleanse, purify, and perfect my esophagus, okay? Cleaning, purifying, perfecting, all right? You're putting all that towards the esophagus, okay? Black roots are now contained all around the esophagus, the trachea, the surrounding glands. All right, and now the body is more than happy to reciprocate that love. All right, and so now that black liquid energy is now flowing directly into your hands. Okay? So I'll give you a moment now as you feel all that black liquid coming into your hands. All right, so Christine, we will now go ahead and clear all of that debris out with all the debris in your hands right now. I command God's Spirit Light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained within Christine's hands, lifting all of that energy up out of her body, putting up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. All right. Some very, very strong energies there. So very good. So Christine, again, just as I told Azita, I want you to move into the higher states now, okay? Like you're imagining yourself as an angelic being, like you're imagining yourself as the higher self. And now that all of that energy has been purged, we now want to replenish. We want to rejuvenate. So we've detoxified, we've purged. Now it'll be up to you to replenish and to rejuvenate. Now, again, I used to do that for people, but I say, no, it's actually very good for them to work with self-replenishment. All I'm helping to do is just get the debris out of the way. You guys have to fill yourselves with the love. You guys have to fill yourself with the replenishment and the rejuvenation energy, okay? So feel this physical world melting away. See yourself in light, all right? You are light as a feather, and you are angelic. You are the higher self. You are your soul, okay? And you're just bringing in all of that pure love, and you're talking to the esophagus, right? You're bringing it into cleanliness, into purification, and into perfection. And that will be, as it were, your homework, okay? So keep working with that in that way. And like I said, work with spirit, right? Spirit energy is all around your toroidal field, okay? Call it in. This is something, again, that I want to teach you guys to do so that you are self-reliant, right? You are not dependent upon another person doing this for you, right? You're learning self-reliance. You're going within and saying, yeah, I can replenish my energy. Great. And if you do a really good job with that, in time you'll learn how to purge all this energy without feeling that you need somebody to get it done for you, right? We got to get out of that trance-based programming of the idea of someone having to do work for us, right? Because we don't feel we can do it ourselves. You can do anything. You're God, right? You can do anything. But you have to go through this process to get into the training to untrain yourself into thinking that you are not God, right? So that's what we're doing, and that's what we'll be continuing to doing we'll be continuing to do once the Spirit Ambassador Classroom opens in November. So again, like I said, I was talking about that in the newest video yesterday, about it opening up in November. It's a free classroom for everybody, okay? And it does not matter where your level is on a spiritual level. If you're just awakening, you're just starting out, or if you have many years experience with this, okay? It's for everyone. So again, you're basically learning the point of when you're just starting to awaken and then going all the way up to God, okay? And that's really what we teach, is going through awakening and coming all the way up to God. So thank you, Christine, for your request. All right. Okay, just a lot of greetings in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Greetings and hello to all of you. Okay, this is kind of a general question. We'll answer it real quickly because I will take Q&A later. Brad, what healing code card works for breast cancer? Work with a gland enhancer, okay? Gland enhancer works with the mammary glands, okay? So that too helps with clearing out cancer as well too. Also, additionally, from the cards as well, I would like you to do just exactly what we are doing here right now, okay? You're working with spirit energy. You're taking the etheric roots. You're going into the breast. You're finding where the cancer is. You see it as black liquid. You apologize to the body. Black liquid comes into your hands. You talk to spirit, okay? And you help spirit you work with spirit to clear all that energy out. And here's the thing, if you guys are doing this on your own, it's like I talked about in the last video, be grateful for what spirit does for you, okay? If you are not grateful, you risk rebound, okay? So I've had some people that have basically seen me do like the spirit commands and they've tried doing it themselves, but they were not aligned in the proper way to basically do this work. And some people can be very, very greedy and selfish relating to their requests, and they experience rebound. Now, I've experienced quite a few people who have had this happen over the years, okay? They try to work with higher spiritual energies, but they are greedy. They are selfish, okay? They do not offer thanks. They do not offer appreciation. They do not offer gratitude. And that's so important, especially when you're working with spirit. You have to understand spirit is a being, okay? God is a being. So we want to make sure that we are honoring the living Father, the living Mother, the living Creator, okay? She's your mom. She's your dad. She's your heavenly parent. So you want to make sure that you are honoring and loving in that way. This too is what's going to be taught in the Spirit Ambassador classroom, okay? As well as a brand new healing method that even goes beyond this one that I'm teaching right now. But I'm keeping that one under wraps right now until the Spirit Ambassador classroom begins. Okay, so let's move down a bit. Let me grab another glass of water here, or bottle. Okay. Okay, here's one from Shannon Scott. Healing request for my left knee, please. Certainly. All right. So, Shannon, be good just to sit down if you're sitting down, especially if you have a bad knee. Okay, so placing your hands upon the center of your chest, feeling the black roots coming out, feeling those black roots descending all the way down. You said it was your left knee? Okay. So descending down to your left knee and just wrapping all around the left knee as well too. Now, you may want to connect to some of the nerves. You may want to connect to some of the muscles and the ligaments as well too. Okay. You can go ahead and you can connect to that. Belle, thank you very much for your contribution. I appreciate that. Okay, so just wrapping all around the left knee with these black roots, okay? And now, through your inner vision, I just want you to see where the black liquid is. Now, for some of you guys, if you're not able to visually see the black liquid, just feel it, right? It's kind of like you feel it's like a static, right? It's kind of like a static, it's kind of like a resistance, sometimes it's a heaviness, right? You just feel that it's there, okay? And if you still can't feel it, you just tell the black roots, just collect all of the black liquid that's around the knee, okay? And that works as well too. But firstly, we want to do the apologetic energy, the apologetic affirmation, I should say, to the body, okay? So, okay, Shannon, go ahead and do that apologetic energy now, that apologetic affirmation, right? I apologize to my body for being neglectful, for not being able to deal with this right away. I ask for my body's forgiveness. I ask for my body's assistance to work together with me so that we can clean, purify, and perfect the body, okay? So as we do that, and we're very sincere about that, now we feel the black knee giving up that black liquid, okay? And now it's streaming through the roots and coming back into the hands, okay? So I'll give you a minute now as you collect all of that black liquid energy and putting it into the hands. Okay, so Shannon, all you have to do is just keep yourself nice and centered, nice and neutralized, okay? As I now go ahead and bring in God's Spirit Light. I command God's Spirit Light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained within Shannon's hands, lifting all of that energy up out of her body, putting it up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay, very good. So Shannon, same thing, just as I told the other two. Angelic time. Okay, so wiping away this physical reality, going into light, and replenishing your knee with your love. Okay, it's very important that it's your love, that it's your happiness, that it's your compassion, that it's your cleanliness, that it's your purity, that it's your perfection. Okay, and that is now going into the knee. And like I said, we did the toroidal field exercise where the spirit light is. You call in spirit, and you tell spirit, Spirit, thank you very much. I love you. Let's put in some love energy into the left knee to bring a replenishment, because now all of that black liquid is purged. Okay? So I wish you well with that. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, here's another one from another knee request from Davijan. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I've put a lot of stress on my knees these past few months, and the pain doesn't go away. Can you please help me? That's why I'm here, right? Okay, so Davijan, yes, absolutely. So again, it's the same routine, guys. It's just the same routine over and over again, okay? After Davijan, I think I'll do one more, and then we'll do a group healing, okay? So anybody else that has any problems, we'll work on it collectively, okay? But I like to work on people one-to-one because I kind of feel their unique energy, and I can also give them any particular forms of impressions that may need to be there as well, okay? So Davijan, yeah, you're just a hard worker, right? You work a lot, and sometimes you don't know when to say when, right? You're constantly on your feet, so of course that can impact your knees. It can also impact your ankles and your joints as well too. Now we won't work on your joints today, other than your knees, but I'd like you to really start to work on that as well too, just as you're seeing what is being done here, okay? And of course, guys, BCR technique, right? BCR technique takes care of this. I put out a brand new playlist for new viewers, okay? Please make sure you guys are watching that playlist. It's in my posts on YouTube, okay? It's there, and just click on that playlist. The first video is BCR and TC technique all in one. Guys, please, I cannot emphasize this enough, all right? Watch it. Please watch it if you have not watched it yet, okay? If you need to go back to it again, you go back to it again, and again, and again, and again, until it is natural to you. Oh, but Brad, we just want somebody else to do this for us. No, that is selfish dependency, okay? You want to work on this yourself. You want to develop this yourself. You want to be serious about this, right? And you are working on healing yourself. You can do this, guys. Everything I do, you guys can do, right? But you got to get out of the programming, telling yourselves you can't do this. Everything I'm teaching you guys here is bare bones simple, right? You got to get out of the trance program. You got to get out of the hypnosis, and you got to come into the realization, I am God. I can do all this, right? Brad's only just being a reflection for me to tell me that I can do all this myself. Yes, that's exactly it. I'm trying to put myself out of a job. That's the key here, right? All right. So I'll start getting into scolding mode, and we'll now get back to Davijan. Okay, so Davijan, again, place those roots into both of your knees, all right? Wrapping around both of those knees. And now you're just being able to detect the black liquid contained in both knees. If you cannot visualize it, feel it. If you cannot feel it, command the roots to be ready to suck up all of that black liquid in both knees, okay? Firstly, we want to apologize to the body, okay? I apologize to my body for being neglectful, for not being able to handle this situation when it first came. I ask for my body's forgiveness and for its assistance in bringing cleanliness, purity, and perfection to my knees and to my body, okay? Thank you very much. I love you. Great. Now we can absorb all of that black liquid from the knees, with the roots, okay, and coming up into our hands. So Davijan, that's what you're doing right now, okay. You do your apologetic affirmation, black roots, absorb all of that energy into your hands, okay, and I'll give you a moment for that. Okay, and then it gets cleared away with spirit light. Now that same spirit light is in your guys' toroidal field, okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm just bringing in spirit light. I'm bringing in God's light, God's power, and clearing this out, okay? And just giving him thanks, giving her thanks as this happens. That's all I'm doing. This isn't rocket science, guys. This is all about the power of radiant feelings, right? That's what matters. All right. So, Davijan, now all of that black liquid is contained in your hands. Let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out, as I now work with spirit energy, okay, with spirit light. I command God's spirit light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained within Davijan's hands, lifting all of that energy up out of his body, putting it up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay. So, Davijan, you know the drill. Just as I told everybody else. Go to your angelic self now and replenish both of those knees. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, we'll take one more healing request, and we're going to do a group healing here. Let me just go back to where I was here. Okay, here's one from Kiddis Yosef. I'll just call you Kiddis. Hey, Brad, healing request for my grandma. She's very old, and her feet are swelling and hurting whenever she steps on them. She has Alzheimer's, and it is hard to help her move around since she resists. Okay, so we'll work on her feet today. Okay, like I said, just a single request, everybody. So yes, we'll go ahead and do that. So now, Kiddush, you're going to be the proxy. You're going to be the medium in between this healing request. Okay, so Kiddush, what I want you to do right now is just take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As we are doing work for somebody else, we are basically being that bridge between spirit and between that person, okay? So what I want you to do, Kiddis, is I just want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine your grandmother just laying on a bed, okay? You're seeing her hologram. You're seeing her holographic body laying on this bed, okay? Now, if you want, you can just go right down to her feet. You don't have to go to the center of her chest. Usually the center of the chest is where we start, but in this case, you can go right to her feet. And again, you're seeing the black roots coming out of your hands, and you're putting them in her feet, okay? Because you know exactly the specifics of what the swelling looks like, of the pain that she's going through, etc. This is why it's very, very important that you're being the bridge, okay? You're being the bridge between the worlds here, all right? You're being an avatar. There you go. Okay, so, Kiddis, now that you're doing that, you're putting the black roots into it. Now that we put the black roots into her feet, and we feel that black liquid energy in her feet, we're just asking her soul for permission, all right? So you're just saying in your mind, Grandma, with your soul, do I have permission to do this healing, okay? And we will just proceed as if the answer is yes, okay? Because your soul is very, very, anyone's soul, really, I would say pretty much anybody's soul, is very, very open for this type of healing, okay? I'd say about 90-95%. All right, so we're going to proceed. Now that you have those etheric roots wrapped around her entire feet and probably around her ankles as well too, okay? I just want you to see that black liquid. You're just telling your own self, show me the black liquid that's in my grandmother's feet, okay? Okay, and now you're just absorbing all of that black liquid into your hands. You don't need to worry about doing an apologetic energy because this is not your body, okay? You're acting as a medium here. So you're helping to absorb all of that black liquid energy directly into your hands. And I'll give you a moment to do that now. Okay, and now that you have done that, just keeping your hands there as I now connect with God's Spirit Light. I command God's Spirit Light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained within Kiddis's hands, that is from his grandmother's feet and ankles, lifting all of that debris, black liquid energy, from his hands from her feet and ankles, putting them up into source consciousness to be 100% purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay, very good. I'm getting like buzzing sensations in my hands. It feels so good. Really, really good. So again, guys, what I do is as soon as I send that to God, to send that up and to purge all that, I am saying a blessing in my heart to God, right? Thank you, God, for doing this. I love you. Thank you for all that you are, right? Just very, very simple. Okay, you guys don't need to repeat me verbatim here, right? Because some of you may say, hey, okay, I'll do the black liquid and I'll do the spirit light in the toroidal field, and I'll tell spirit to clear it away, all right? Make sure you're thankful, okay? This is why, again, this is kind of the watered-down version of an actual healing method that I'm going to be teaching in the Spirit Ambassador classroom. Please make sure you're giving thanks, okay? I cannot emphasize that enough. The last thing you guys want is rebound, okay? And the law of consequence. You want the law of reward, okay? Wiccans will refer to it as the threefold law or the law of return, right? In actuality, though, it is the squarefold law. It is the law of reward, and if it's used abusively, it is the law of consequence, okay? So we want to be very, very aware of that. It's dual-sided, all right? Okay, great. Thank you very much, kiddos. I hope your grandmother is feeling better. Thank you again for being the bridge between the worlds. Young Avatar. All right. Okay, guys, we're now going to go ahead and do a group healing. So this is for everybody who, again, if I have not got around to your healing request, well, this is the perfect opportunity now for you to do some group healing work. All right. So let's place our hands upon the center of our chest. Let's feel the etheric roots coming out. Now, this is mostly just for yourselves, okay? If it's for somebody else, we kind of have to do one-to-one in that way, okay? This is just for yourselves. So now that you have the etheric roots in your body, I just want you to be aware of whatever one thing is that you want to clear out, okay? So if you have sore knees, you have sore ankles, you got a sore back, whatever it is, you're putting the roots into that sore zone, okay? And I'll just refer to it as the sore zone, all right? Or the pain zone, one of those two. Whatever you want to call it is fine. But basically, we're taking it into that zone, okay? And now we're telling our body, telling ourself, show me the black liquid within that zone. Okay? And now, before we do anything with the etheric roots, what do? We're apologetic. Apologetic affirmation. I apologize to my body for being neglectful regarding the pain that is within this zone. I ask for my body's forgiveness, as well as its assistance, to bring cleanliness, purity, and perfection back into this zone and into my body altogether. I love you, body. Thank you very much. Okay? So with all those black roots wrapped around that specific zone, the body is now very forgiving, and now we are absorbing all of that black liquid energy directly into our hands. Okay? So we're sucking up all of that energy into our hands, and I'll give you guys a moment so you can do that now. I can feel quite a few of you going along with this. That's good. It's a good feeling. Okay, so now that we have absorbed all of that black liquid energy into our hands, I will now call in God's Spirit Light. I command God's Spirit Light to completely cancel out, eliminate, and purge all of the black liquid debris energy contained within everyone that is watching this broadcast now live or through recording, and purging all of that black liquid debris energy up into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven in totality for them. Apply. Okay. So, what do we do next, guys? We go into angel mode, right? We go into the higher self. We melt away physical reality. We go up into our highest light. And now we're bringing that softness. We're being very delicate. We're being very gentle with ourselves. We're treating ourselves like we're a newborn infant, okay? And you're being very delicate with yourself. You're being very gentle with yourself. You may feel like this angelic energy is all around you. This higher self energy, this pure soul energy, pure spirit energy is all around you, and you're being delicate, okay? So you're going into the zone, and you're bringing it praise, you're bringing it blessings, you're bringing it love, you're bringing it cleanliness, purity, and perfection, okay? And you're just staying there for as long as you feel you want to, right? And you're feeling that love energy flowing through. And it's like you can feel this light just radiating through you. And stay there for as long as you feel you can. The longer you stay there, the more precious and the more beautiful and loving and effective that energy is going to be. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for all of your healing requests. Okay? I hope that group healing helps you out a lot. So we will now go ahead and move on to Q&A. So if you guys do have any Q&A, questions for myself or questions for Adronis, let me know. I'm happy to bring them in. And I'm kind of looking for kind of semi-personal or general questions, okay? I know a lot of people want personal questions. That's more so for private sessions, okay? So kind of semi-personal or general questions. I'm hoping not too many political questions, right? We're better than that. We're better than any politics. That's just a system, right? We're evolving past that, all right? So let's go down the list here. Someone's asked me about Sushant Singh Rajput. I have no idea who that is. I'd have to look into who that person is to get a translation going to give that information. So the best thing, Josh, is just to email me that question, okay? It's good to give me a reminder, and that's why I want you to email me, okay? info@newearthteachings.org. Email me that question. That gives me a reminder to look into the fellow, and then I can become familiar with it. Adronis becomes familiar with him, and now we can kind of look into him together, okay? Because Adronis and I are one, right? Thank you, Josh. Okay, Val was just saying regarding the card for breast cancer. Thanks, Brad. It was for a person I don't know, but I want to help her. I know, Val. I know you're a guy, so I don't think you have breasts. So I imagine it's for somebody else. Okay, I'm just playing with you. All right, that's good. Again, tell her what I told you here. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so here's one particular question. It's kind of an interesting question, but I'll bring Adronis in. It's kind of a funny question as well, too. It's from Davijan. Adronis, how did the creator of The Simpsons, Matt Groening, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right, was able to predict so many future events? Okay. So let me go ahead and bring Adronis in, and he can comment in regards to The Simpsons creator and The Simpsons writers. Okay? One moment. Terra Soul Star Sirius Adronis. We are here at this time. We bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning into this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. What we'd like to ask all of you to do at this time is simply allow yourselves to get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius, so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all the information that we have to share. Please understand also that all that we share today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. We thank you, Davijan, for your question as it relates to your popular cartoon series known as The Simpsons. Now, many of you are quite bewildered because you have discovered that there have been, as you would say, certain prophecies given through this particular cartoon series that have actually come to pass. One example being the idea of your Donald Trump being president of your United States, and that this was predicted past, before that happened, upon your Simpsons television series. Well, here's the thing. Those particular writers, and even the creator himself of that show, are not psychics at all. They are not prophets at all either. Well, Adronis, then how were they able to bring this in? Through all of you. Now, you may seem a little bit confused by that. You have to understand that what is actually being shared through such a very popular television series, in fact, it's one of the most popular cartoons on your planet. And so it has a lot of influence here, which means that whatever they put in regards to the state of their content is actually very highly influential by its viewers. So, when there is an episode of Donald Trump being seen as president, there is a great reaction to that effect. So, what happens is people actually start believing that this is going to happen. And now you have a tidal wave of all of this momentum of energy of people believing into what they're actually seeing, even what may represent a comedy aspect. Nonetheless, they are seeing that as a possible reality. So what happens is there's so much collective momentum behind that idea that the subject that it is being imprinted upon will now have a wave of opportunity for that to actually happen. So this has nothing to do with prediction, and this has nothing to do with prophecy. This has to do with influence, and is the influence of, again, planting a seed into the collective consciousness, so that the collective consciousness, in that sense, favors what is actually being shown, be it the idea of satire or drama, doesn't matter. It's something that they have collectively agreed upon. Oh, well, Donald Trump as a president, well, that would be kind of funny. Oh, it could actually happen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now that tidal wave of supporting emotional energy comes upon that particular person pertaining to that subject. And now he notices that there is a wave of momentum because this cartoon series is able to reach many millions or perhaps even billions of people all across your planet. And that is the collective wave. So a collective wave is forming, and through that collective wave, the subject in question can now ride that wave based upon this opportunistic wave that has started as a seed planted through your media, like The Simpsons, and is now transformed into this great inertia. That is exactly how these things have come to pass. This also relates to the idea of the quote-unquote prediction pertaining to the death of the individual known as Kobe Bryant, relating to the idea of a helicopter. Because again, this too was also in media, again seeing as satire. And because there is a lot of collective energy all around there, that basically in that sense boosts up that particular, as you would say, dharma relating to that subject. So, this is basically what your media does. Now you have to understand that your own television is a trance-inducing technology. It brings you into trance, and it helps you to basically look at all of these different seeds that are being implanted through various forms of media. And through the majority of people that watch these forms of media and have these seeds planted within them, there becomes a momentum wave. And it is that momentum wave that is actually allowing the subject in question to become more prevalent within your reality, because it is much more agreed upon through the state of consensus. So, the idea of Donald Trump becoming president is because of all of you. The idea in that sense of Kobe Bryant, even though he had this written in his own contract, but the momentum is being brought forward into that state of awareness of how it would happen to him, is because of all of you. So this is exactly how it happens. It's not prediction. It's the idea of riding the momentum wave and basically being supported upon that momentum wave based upon what's being planted as a seed and having the collective wave entirely behind it. That is what is happening, relating to the writers, the creator of The Simpsons, or any other forms of popular media being shared through your television sets, your networks, and therefore being received by millions or even billions of people that now ride that wave. And now that subject can come to pass. This is why the collective is so important when it gets together. It is able to make these things happen incredibly. So, nothing to do with prediction, but everything to do with momentum and seed planting. All right? We thank you very much for your question. One moment, please. All right. That is great. Thank you, Adronis. Now, he has shared information about that previously before. I'm not too sure in what video. But Yeah, someone else asked him, like, how are these writers of The Simpsons able to predict these events? They haven't. There's no prediction involved. They are not psychic, right? This is all part of collective momentum, okay? So that, again, is Adronis' perspective. That, too, is what I've received. Take it for what it's worth, all right? Okay. Oops. Let me go back up here a moment. Okay, this is just feedback from Kittis. Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you so much for Holy Spirit for healing my grandma. Infinite love and light to all, and thanks for the playlist. Oh, great. I'm glad you enjoy it. And I hope your grandma feels better too. Okay. Oh, here's a nice one from Shea. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Is it Shea? Shea? Question, Adronis, what are the functions of the divine feminine and the divine masculine? I love that. That's a nice, sweet question. I like that. Okay, one moment, Shea, as I go ahead and bring Adronis back in. So the question again is, what are the functions of the divine feminine and the divine masculine? Okay, here we go. We thank you very much, Shea, for your question. Now, again, this is a big topic relating to the idea of what are the differences or what are the perspectives or what are the qualities relating to that of the divine feminine or the divine masculine. We have to understand that the feminine, again, as its symbol represents, is that of the cup or the womb. And the masculine would represent that of the mountain or the blade in that particular way. So, what does the cup represent? The cup represents openness. It represents softness. It represents nurturing. It represents intuition. It represents feeling. It represents motherliness. It represents the idea of, in that sense, caressing. The idea of encouraging. The idea of supporting. The heart, the spirit essence of creation, you would say, in a nutshell. And now when you're looking at the masculine side, you are looking at the idea of strength. You are looking at the idea of bravery. You are looking at the idea of groundedness. You are looking in the idea of rationality. You're looking in the idea of logic. You're looking in the idea in that sense of standing tall, of being assertive in that particular way. Courageousness, fatherhood, the protection energy, as it were. Now, again, there are different arrays relating to the masculine and the feminine that can also share some of these qualities in certain degrees, though the appropriate polarity is much more refined in regards to the qualities aforementioned. So basically, as they come together, they become one. You are bringing the blade and you are bringing the cup together so that they can form the idea of oneness. Truly, the two are one. Because it is not the idea of saying, well, because you are female, you must just have the feminine within yourself. No. It's the idea that the female body also can bring about masculinity because it's just an energy. It's a property of polarity. The male body itself can also bring in the richness of feminine energy as well, too. So again, they are not mutually inclusive in regards to only a one particular form of polarity. They have the idea of exclusiveness. Therefore, the idea of the dual polarities can be ripely abundant through either of the gender vessels. So again, once you start to work together with the masculine and the feminine together, either through yourself or through a partner, you are helping yourselves to become merged, the two becoming one. Now, it is also possible for an individual, a person, to work together with these two energies on a masculine and feminine level relating to polarities and are able to infuse that together just through themselves. So is it necessary for you to have a partner? No, not really. But you can if you wish. Many people choose to have that because they want to have that companionship. They want to have that relationship. And that's available to you. Absolutely. You're already living proof of that, many of you. And there are those of you who do not prefer to have that, who simply decide to go to God, or simply decide that that is not for you, and you want to work together through your own energies of the masculine and the feminine and bring them together as one. So you have the feminine property of yourself, you have the masculine property of yourself, and you are immersing that into godhood. You are immersing that into the one. So again, this forms into the nature of androgyny. So, These, again, just represent rough qualities, but again, there are qualities that both the feminine and the masculine have that really are not even put into your language. There is a light about the masculine. There is an essence about the feminine that cannot be described, nor can the masculine. It is something that needs to truly be felt. It is not through the idea of your language. Your language, again, just does not serve the appropriateness in regards to understanding what these feminine and masculine qualities are. Even what we share to you right now is still just on the surface. It's what you feel through the heart of the masculine, through the heart of the feminine, and bringing those two characteristics, those two polarities together to form one, androgyny. And we were talking about the energy. But again, as you move up into the higher planes of consciousness, you can actually move into what you would term as an androgynous body, for this is what we are naturally. Though again, Brad connects to our masculine and feminine selves, Adronis and Rayar, we are truly androgynous, Adronis, androgynous, Adronis, androgynous. That's our nature. All right? So we thank you very much for your question. One moment as we return to the conduit. Okay, thank you very much, Shea, for, again, a very beautiful question. Let's move on. I just got this thing. Lizzie says, oh, Bashar seems to think COVID is somewhat real. I can't touch that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not here to tell exactly what another person says, and I know you're probably just sharing that in general for the chat. I can't speak for another person, right? And I don't know. I haven't really looked into Bashar's recent challenge at all, so I've maybe seen little clips here and there, but not really the entirety of the challenge. So I don't know. I have heard people saying other things about what Bashar is saying about the virus and all that stuff, and I said, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not responsible for telling another person's perspective. If you want to know that person's perspective, best to go with the person, right? But yes, and that's true. It does have a certain different perspective, all right? Shannon asks, can you please ask what Morgellons is? Yeah, I've talked about Morgellons in the past. There's actually a person on here that had Morgellons in one of the past webcasts, and he actually got back to me and said he was actually feeling a lot better. Morgellons is AI. Okay, it's basically what they call smart dust, and it's basically fibers, right? It's like a fiber, like a little dust. Some people inhale it, or it can be ingested in that particular way. And it basically replicates within the body. It's actually AI that feeds off the resources of the body. And it's almost like the Borg, in the best way it's to announce it. It's like it starts to assimilate you, right? And you got all these fibers, and some people can actually feel negative thoughts or anything of that nature, right? So it's a type of AI implantation, right? Now, basically, there have been some people who have been able to overcome the idea of Morgellons, is using the idea of EMF pulses or Faraday cages as well, too. Again, I've worked with a couple people who have had Morgellons, and it can be deactivated in that way. But it's basically an AI intelligence that comes in and it starts creating all these fibers in your body. It almost feels like insects are crawling inside your skin. Some people have had it in their scalp and they've had to shave their head because it feels like insects are crawling inside their skin. It's very, very nasty, right? But again, yes, it's something that can be deactivated through electromagnetic pulse or through Faraday cages, for example, or you can come to me, right? And spirit can deactivate it. So those are some options. Right, so that's what it is. It's a nasty thing, but there is resolving past it. Okay, thank you for your question. Let's see. Okay, well, here's something from Zach. Zach just says, could you or Adronis, I guess I'll take this one, talk about the concept of bipolarism or schizophrenia and its spiritual significance relevance? Well, here's the thing. And this is what I've really got a learning from as well, too. You don't really need to know the spiritual significance of things, right? It's much more of a distraction, and it's the idea more so of ego gratification, right? And like I've done the Akashic records, and I used to go into my records, and I'd look at all these other lifetimes, and I'd try to find the spiritual significance of it, and I keep getting the feeling, you don't need to know about that, right? It's no more different than looking at your memories. All this is trying to do is convey a feeling to you, right? The idea of a spiritual significance is really no more different than saying, I just want to look at an intellectual quality of this, right? When we say spiritual significance, we just kind of dress up the word. We give it window dressings, right? But it's still just intellect. It's not important. So When you are dealing with schizophrenia, quite commonly, this has to do with toxicity in the brain. Okay, this can come from injections. This can come from immunizations. This can come from vaccines. This can come from a lot of different things. We have metals in the air. We have pollutants in the air. We have toxicities in the air. We can also inherit certain forms of toxicities from our parents when we were born as an infant, right? And that starts to grow a lot more as we age in the years ahead. But primarily, it is all about emotional harshness, right? It's emotional heaviness. It's traumas. And those traumas weaken the body, right? If we're looking at ourselves as a ripe, beautiful waterfall, when we start bringing in all those heavy emotions and heavy traumas into ourselves, the waterfall starts to dry up, right? And now our body starts to get sluggish. It starts to get stiff. The immune system is compromised, right? All of this vitality energy that we have in ourselves starts to minimalize. And now we start getting sick. We become a lot more prone to viruses. We become a lot more prone to diseases. We become a lot more prone to harsh bacteria, to metals, to chemicals, etc. The list goes on and on and on, right? We have truly a very polluted planet here. And it's our responsibility to clean her up, right? Because we're the ones that put this pollution here in the first place. So a lot of that is the reason, right? So the idea of the schizophrenia is the idea that there can be a lot of increased pockets of calcium placed within the pineal gland, all right? And you need to decalcify the pineal gland. There's also a lot of calcium deposits within the body. You can get parasites as well too, and parasites can start creating these nests. They start creating this lattice work within yourself, right? And it can get very, very nasty, and they basically hijack the body. And now all nutrients coming into the body is primarily being absorbed, right? I've talked to a few people with this. I know someone personally who also has this problem. And of course, all of this can be remedied, right? So when you're looking at schizophrenia, when you're looking at bipolarism, it's not about looking at the spiritual dilemma, because many people will say, oh, well, this is my karma. This is my karma from this past life. And so this karma must be coming in. Guys, you're putting too much energy into that, all right? Yes, there is karmic law, but all karmic law represents is your actions, okay? It's not a punishment. So we just punish ourselves. That's the whole idea. We neglect ourselves in regards to taking care of our body here in this life. We're not focused on this life. We need to focus on Egypt. We need to focus on Atlantis. We need to focus on Peru. We need to focus on Great Britain. We need to focus on all these different places. We need to focus on Sirius. We got to focus on the Pleiades. We got to focus on Arcturus. We got to focus on Lyra, etc., etc. And we just put all of these anchors into these different areas. What happens when you do that? You're not in this body. You're not in this life. You're looking at dreams. You're looking at memories, okay? The idea of the Akashic records, when you're going into it, is no more different than how you are retrieving your own memories, okay? When you're looking at memories in this life, you're going off into the dream plane, you're experiencing other memories in other lifetimes, going into other different realities in that way. Yeah, but it's all there to tell you a significance about what you are going through, right? So the spiritual significance, the intellect in that way. On an intellectual level, you're understanding what you're going through, okay? So the idea of illnesses in that way, we feel again are some part of karmic hex, right? We got some karmic debt upon ourselves. Well, in a way that's true, because you haven't been taking care of your body here in this lifetime, right? You haven't been talking to your body. You haven't been working with your body. So in a way that's true, but it's not about pointing the finger to other lifetimes. Oh, this is how I was in Atlantis. This is how I was in Peru. This is how I was in Egypt, etc. And saying, oh, well, that's exactly why I haven't. No, guys, that's not what this is saying. These are memories, just like any other memory that you have within yourself. And they are telling you about how you have behaved, how you have reacted to certain things that connotate exactly what you're going through right now. That's how the universe speaks through you, right? It speaks to you through memories. It speaks to you through vision. It speaks to you through images. It can speak to you through feelings. It can speak to you through thoughts, etc. So when we're looking at the idea of schizophrenia and bipolarism, etc., a lot of this has to do with internal toxicity, okay? Pollutants, chemicals, all of that. That's what's happening into our body right now, right? And again, if we're trying to play a guessing game and say, oh, well, it's because of this, all you're trying to do is get ego gratification, right? If you're trying to pin it into other lifetimes and all that stuff and say, oh, my past life, I was so cursed and now I'm cursed now. No, you're putting that belief system into yourself, and that's you racking up your own karmic debt that you're imposing upon yourself. You're using that as an excuse, right? And that is not the way of remedying this. Rather than going so much into the melodrama of the story, look into what you have and work with your highest degrees of love and compassion, support and forgiveness to clear them all out. That's all it is. Now, guys, here's the thing. When you start talking to a lot of higher dimensional beings, they are so simple in regards to what they are conveying to you. Just get clarity on this. If you're going through a harsh time with your partner, well, then just resolve it. Resolve the issue in that sense. Just talk to them. If they cannot be talked with, then you work on the idea of getting closure with the relationship and you move on. There's clarity. There's clarity in its greatest form. But from the human perspective, oh, but I can't do this because I got this maze of complexities. And I said, that is such a human thing to do, right? And then we go into past lives and say, oh, this must have happened in ancient Egypt. This must have happened in Ireland or something like that because I had a divorce there and I set somebody on fire. And, and it goes on and on and on. And you're just constantly unraveling this level of complexity that is so sophisticated you will never get out of this maze, right? Now, when you're looking at the higher dimensional perspective, they don't look at a maze. They see clarity, okay? Work together with that partner, negotiate, get closure, move on. There's your clarity, right? Work together with your partner. Do not complain about it. Do not complain about what you're doing because you have so much love and faith towards your partner. Don't complain about it then. There's closure. There's clarity right there. Oh yeah, right? And we start barfing all this complexity out of ourselves. But then he has kids, and then his mother, and then his father, and then blah, 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 blah. And your head explodes, right? It's exactly what happens. So get out of that mainframe because that's trans-hypnotic programming. That's hypnosis. When you're getting into the idea of overcomplicating everything, these are hypnotic programs, okay? Our entire life is surrounded by hypnosis. Go out into a city and you'll see what I'm talking about. You got signs everywhere. You got advertisements everywhere. You got salesmen everywhere. You got to buy, sell, purchase, everything. Get gas for your car, do this, take care of the kids, etc. Hypnosis, transprogramming. It's exactly what it is. And this is why you go into barriers. Those barriers are false. You are putting identity into those barriers. You're making the mountains out of molehills, right? Spirit does not see this. Spirit sees a clear path for you. Just walk this path and you'll be clear. Oh yeah, but right? And then you overcomplicate it. You start regurgitating all of this garbage hypnosis that you put into yourself, right? And for those, again, who really do their inner work, they clear out all this garbage. They're not hypnotized anymore, right? And they see all this complexity that was there and said, I never needed this. I never needed this complexity. I never needed this harshness. I never needed this hardship. I never needed this virus. I never needed the idea of schizophrenia. I never needed the idea of bipolarism. I'm only looking at those things because these are impairments that are happening within myself. They're, again, caused primarily by lack, by trauma, by emotions. And then they start to manifest themselves as physical diseases and ailments. You guys know this stuff, right? It's very, very common. So many people are talking about this, right? But rather than looking at the story, rather than looking at the map and saying, oh my goodness, then I was a victim of this, and then I was harsh with this, and I was abandoned by here, etc. We get so much into that melodrama. You want to clear that out, right? You want to work with love. Just be love. Be love in the highest way. You guys aren't learning love? Then you should be doing the BCR technique daily, right? You want to discover within yourself, you want to make it your grandest goal to be a loving being, right? That's your grandest goal, to be a loving being. Everything else gets pushed aside. I'm going to love. I'm going to have radiant feelings. I'm going to have God with me because I am God and I can do absolutely everything and anything. And that's the mentality I want to have every single day, of every single minute, of hour, of week, day, etc. Right? All the time, 24/7, God man, God woman. Okay? That is what is going to set you free. That's what's going to liberate you. You have now outgrown the necessity of telling melodramatic stories about what you are complicatedly holding on to through hypnosis, right? Once you get out of all that, you won't be sick anymore. You'll clear out schizophrenia. You'll clear out bipolarism. You'll clear out any other particular form of disease and ailment, because it's all there because of emotional compromise, right? So I hope that helps you guys. I won't get too much into it, but that's giving you an idea about what's happening. Adronis will probably go, a lot more stronger in this, but that again is just my own perspective on it. Okay. So I think we're going to take one more question and then we're going to wrap up. So I'm just going to look around for a good question to end on. Okay. Something that's really good. I think something that will just end on a high note here. You guys have such very interesting questions as well. And some of these questions really can't be answered. Okay, here's a good one here from Layla. Lala, I think. Lala? All right. Lala says, will trauma be reversed and money blocks removed? Oh, of course. Absolutely. You can reverse traumas. And it's not so much of reversing them, it's about not feeding them anymore, right? So again, this is why I've created something like the BCR technique, the TC technique as well too. That's helping you clear out the traumatic situations, right? The traumas are three: abandonment, rejection, abuse. Okay? Abandonment, rejection, abuse. Those are the three traumas. And that stems from the seed of lack. Now, those traumas, again, will work together with emotional states because the emotions are being the messengers. They're unnatural, really, because we spike them up so much, but they're basically desperate messengers, okay? Feelings are natural messengers, right? When we're working with feelings, it's in the green. It's in the green of the scale, right? But when we start working with emotion, it's like a stack of pancakes. All these feelings that are being neglected, that are being suppressed, are stacking up. And now it's getting into a volatile situation. It's becoming critical. And now it's starting to move into the orange and into the red of the scale. And so emotions are unnatural, desperate messengers, okay? They will, in that sense, try to twist your arm. They will twist your arm and they will say, hey, what are you doing? What's going on here? Why aren't you listening to me, right? And now they're twisting your arm. They're starting to make you feel very, very uncomfortable. They're making you feel hurt inside because it's your own body saying, you have let this stew for so very long. You need to get off your butt and you need to start dealing with these things, right? So now we start working together with getting high, everybody, okay? We get high on love. I'm not talking about this, right? Maybe there's some benefits to that, but what I'm talking about here is pure love energy, okay? We get high. And this is why I say your grandest goal should be to be a loving being, period, right? Even grander than that is I am, period, okay? But let's start reinforcing love energy into ourselves. And this is exactly why the BCR technique is created. So you're not really reversing the traumas in that way. In a way, they're feedbacking upon themselves, but you're dissolving them completely. So traumas get dissolved. Lack as its seed that has festered within your body and created all these cobwebs. As the cobwebs get negotiated through, you discover the seed of lack within yourself. And now you're able to clear out that lack, right? You're no longer living a mortal life. It's exactly what I've talked about with eternal youth in that sense. We all have the ability to live forever. Death is a mistake. These bodies were actually meant to be operated forever, for as long as we wanted to. We could give them up at any time, but we could live as long as we want. The only reason why we don't is because this entire world has been contaminated by the mortal impression of man. Everything, from A to Z, about anything regarding upset, regarding traumas, regarding unnaturalness. Okay, it's just flooded our entire planet. And bit by bit, we're going to start clearing this out, right? Again, it's probably going to be a few centuries before we actually see the entire planet engulfed in the majority of spiritual upliftment. And I'm not talking about the idea of kind of being semi-uplifted. I'm talking about being at the quality of an Indian yogi, right? Of being a Far East master, to basically get into the level of Christhood, right? That's going to take a few centuries. Okay, that's probably maybe helping around 6,000, 8,000 AD, maybe around there. So we got a long way to go, right? And right now we're at a tipping point of the scale relating to people that are now starting to move into a state of critical mass. They realize that they are not going to get into the violent agendas anymore. They're rising above it. And that's all you guys have to do. I'm not saying you guys need to go off and meditate into a cave and become a yogi in that way. You don't have to do that, right? It's the idea that you see exactly the darkness and the grotesque nature of this world, and you will always rise above it. You will never go to that level. You're not stooping, okay? Those who just basically rise above that level will go into places in such beauty and such wonder that you can't even describe it. It's paradise, right? You're going to go to paradise when you're up here. And that's it. You rise above all these things. And this is why getting high on love is so important. It takes you right off that plateau to where the lack is, right? That's what's important. So trauma be reversed, money blocks removed. Well, money blocks, again, is just part of, again, insecurity. It's just part of a lack of value, not being open to change, etc. There's many different faculties relating to it, right? So you are uplifting yourself so that the traumas do not even play any part within yourself. And now you're able to go in and dissolve them and bring them back into light again, right? That is where we're going. So like I said, as long as you're not stooping to that level and you're rising above here, you're okay, right? You're fine. You're going to experience great wonders. You're going to be rewarded by the universe in ways you can't even imagine just by going here, right? I'm not going to go to that level. I'm not going to go to the level of being a bully. I'm not going to be in the level of being a victim. I'm not going to be in the level of feeling that I have to be in control of everything. I have to control absolutely everything and be a control freak. I'm rising all above that. And I'm moving myself into love and compassion. I'm just praising people every single day. I'm loving them. They are my brothers and my sisters. I'm seeing their soul. I'm not seeing male and female anymore. I'm seeing souls. I'm seeing beautiful souls that are all around me, and their light is so beautiful. And even if those do not have enough light, I'm going to help them. I'm just going to say a blessing to them as I pass on the street. That's it. I didn't have to engage in a personal conversation with them. I just blessed them. And now that love is with them. And when that moment of where they invite love in comes, it'll flow through, right? Because it's spirit love. And spirit love is indomitable, right? It is unchangeable. It will always be pure spirit light, pure spirit love. Cannot be changed, right? And that's what you're doing. You're giving the love of spirit. When you're giving man's feelings, when you're giving man's emotions, those are changeable altogether. But when you're working together with spirit light, when you're working together with spirit power, with God power, that's unchangeable. You cannot change it because God is unchangeable. God is perfect. God is truth, right? And that's the energy that you're bringing upon other people. And it's just there. And then they open themselves up to a sweet moment, comes right in. That's all we have to do, guys. Be the beautiful workers that you have come here to do. Come here to be, right? You're the cosmic missionaries. You're here to do this work. And for us to do the work the best is for us to move into the highest states of love possible. Get high on love. Get high on ecstasy. Get high on bliss. Get high on joy. Get high on excitement. Everything that brings you into great compassion, into great bliss altogether. And that is where the world truly becomes divine paradise, right? Right now, I see the entire world as paradise. Even though we're going through a lot of transitional stuff, that's nothing to do with the world. The world herself is beautiful. She is a goddess. She is a paradise. And I see it every single day. How do I do this, guys? Because I do my inner work every single day, right? I do all this work. I don't just come up on here and talk on a video and say, hey, guys, we need to do this, we need to do that, and I haven't done any of these things, all right? That becomes hypocritical. No, when I come onto this camera and I start running these videos, I do this work. I will not share with you guys what I have not done myself, okay? That's always been my rule. So that's just something for you guys to take into consideration. You work with yourselves on higher love levels. You see everything as a paradise. You see everybody as beautiful, right? I've seen life in a very, very different way. I've seen people in a very, very different way. And it's wonderful. And you guys can be there too. That's exactly why I do these videos. All right. So thank you guys. We're out of time right now. We went a little bit over today, but we had great conversations. At least I did with you with the live chat. So thank you for your healing requests. Thank you for your questions as well too. Again, I'll be back next Friday for another New Earth Teachings webcast as well too. So just a reminder, Adronis Inside the Galactic Community is happening on Sunday, August 30th. You can register at newearthteachings.com. And again, remember the Healing Code Shop giveaway. Okay, so I'm giving away 2 t-shirts. Winners will be announced on the next New Earth Teachings webcast on August 28th. And again, just visit our Facebook page and comment on the pinned post to enter. It's facebook.com/healingcodeshop. All right. So thank you. And you're going to go to the website as well too, healingcoachshop.com. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll speak to you next week. And there's more videos to come ahead as well too on the channel. Take care, guys. Namaste. May it be well.